interviewing Alice Cooper toward the beginning of his career, and it was in some hotel room in Detroit, and he and I drank, and he was very friendly, but I was in awe, and he and I drank Bud Light together back in his drinking days and mine.
Right.
And I remember asking him, I said, because, what do you ask a rock star?
Right.
How many women did you,
Right.
And it was like, well, what's the highlight of your career, Alice? I remember him saying, the highlight of my career so far is driving down the freeway and hearing the Big 8 playing 18. And I thought, wow, I worked for this giant mother of a radio station. I mean, when you have a rock star like Alice saying that's the highlight of his career, I remember that. And CK played a lot of black music.
Yes.
And there were some riots at a couple of black high schools at the time, and they were violent. I mean, there were some shootings and fires, and some kids had taken over one of the high schools. And I remember being sent over to, I can't remember the name of the high school. Cody?
I do. Yeah, I do. I don't remember the name either, but I do remember the inner city thing. Yeah.
And so I go there, and all the TV crews are there, and a couple of other radio reporters, and we're all being kept back behind the police line. They said nobody can go in, and the leader of the group came out, and I had some identifying factor, I don't know, a badge or something that said 2020 News or CKLW, and I'll never forget. He walked out and looked at the reporters, and everybody wanted to talk to him, say, well, what are your demands? How's this going to end?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. And he looked at me and he said, we'll take that guy because we believe that station and we trust them. And I remember him walking me through the police lines to go in to the building and interview the people to find out what their gripes were and what they wanted.
Wow.
And it was like, and I was scared, obviously, because I didn't know what was going to happen, but I figured I was in friendly territory if he brought me in. And so we got this exclusive just because of who we were and how the minority community in Detroit loved us. That, again, was one of those things that sort of, imprints in your head or builds on what you already thought about how big this station is and how powerful we are.
Did you have every other reporter that was outside? Like, what'd they say?
Yeah, right. And it was like, there I am, like a 23-year-old kid, and there are all these seasoned reporters from the TV stations who'd been around for years. And it's sort of like, what? This guy works for this sleazy radio station that does news that we don't think is correct, and he gets in and we don't.